So we've left Strasbourg and we are now heading south. We found a parking spot about an hour and a half south of Strasbourg on the way to Lyon. The rain has just started, so I think we were very lucky with the rain. And you can see in the distance the mountains as we're getting nearer to Switzerland. So yeah, the Alps are slowly starting to appear, and we've been in France trying to avoid the toll roads because, as you probably know, the motorways, most of them in France, are tolled péage. So we've programmed the sat-nav to avoid them, so it adds a bit of time onto our journey, but because we're not in a hurry, we're taking the cheaper option, because then we've got more money for food and sights to show you guys.
Stay with me if you
We're going up, 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 and up. And what goes up, yes, must come down.
Don't panic, Mr. Mallory.
We come off and we're going down little lanes. It's like being back in Ireland, in the woods.
In the woods.
Check this out. So we found a really beautiful place to sleep tonight. About an hour, about 2 hours south of Strasbourg, we've driven down. And look where we found. Right next to a fishing lake. There was some fishermen here earlier, but everybody's gone now. And so we've got the lake to ourselves. What a beautiful spot. Huh? And there's a heron nesting in the reeds at the far end. So we'll go maybe later or tomorrow morning to go and have a look and see if we can get a couple of photos of that. But it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So we've woken up to the most beautiful views, and it's so nice to see the sun out again. Look behind me, the mist is just starting to come off the lake here behind us. And watching the sun come up this morning was amazing. And there's a couple of herons that are living on the lake, and I did my best to try and film and photograph them, but they're pretty clever. You try and get too close and they fly off. But what a beautiful place. It's gonna be a good day. Morning, my lover.
Good morning.
Isn't it beautiful?
Breathtaking. Absolutely beautiful. And there was a little scream every now and again, and it's because there's a nesting heron over there. And oh, spectacular! Good job.
Good job, good find.
Yeah, this beats the office.
This definitely beats the office. So we are heading further south today, probably end up a couple of hours north of Lyon, and yeah, we're going to hit the road. And what I love about living in the van is that every morning you wake up to a different place. I mean, a couple of days ago we were in Strasbourg in the city centre, and then today we're waking up to views like this. How more varied can you get than that? So one thing in France is the bread, and in the morning is the best time to get the bread. So we're driving through, we've just seen a village boulangerie, and so we're going to stop and get ourselves some French bread.
Absolutely. There was a very good chance I was going to spend a lot more money, but it was only 90 centimes, which is
80p.
It's about 80p, but it's just, look at this, look at this.
Look at that's
this.
lunch with a bit of cheese.
Ooh.
Oh, forget the
But
Lidl.
They had everything. They've got croissant, petit pain au chocolat, and they've got religieuse, which is my favourite French patisserie. It's a choux bun filled with like vanilla or chocolate cream, with another smaller one on top,
Ooh,
also
lovely.
filled. And then it's
Like
got
a round eclair.
yeah, like two eclairs, two like choux bun eclairs, one on top of the other, and then it's got like some icing
You
thing.
have to go photograph it now.
No, we'll find it. We'll find one on the way. We'll find one on the way. Anyway,
Okay, let's go
Look
before we
after my
spend
bread.
more money. This road is amazing. It is so high. The drop on the side.
I'm terrified of heights, but it's very beautiful. Up in a beautiful, lovely little town, and the name of the town is Coussens. And we parked up. We've got a lovely eclectic mix of vans from various places. And what we're going to do, well, what I'm going to do, because Chris is working, is I'm going to go and walk up to town and see if I can find some fresh croissant and pain au chocolat. Ooh. There were bells during the night, not too many though, just enough. And as you come into the town, you see the parking sign, and they've got grey water, fresh water and toilets and bins. So they've got a really nice setup, and they welcome campers. It actually says no parking except for camper vanners. And then on Saturday morning they have a market. So today is Friday morning, and this is the town. Have a look at this. I just wanted to share this because, well, strike while the iron is hot, they say. So I've just been into this little town, boulangerie, and got my 2 croissants, my 2 pain au chocolat, and do you know, it was so lovely. As you walk in, everybody says bonjour madame, bonjour monsieur, and then as you leave they also say, you know, au revoir madame, au revoir monsieur. So yeah, it's lovely to come back to a little village in France and order pain au chocolat and croissant like I did as a child. The little cake that I spoke about yesterday, the religieuse with the choux buns, I managed to sneak a shot of it when she wasn't looking. And because all the patisseries are made in the house, so they're all freshly made every day, and because it's such a local shop, everyone would know if it wasn't freshly made, because they saw it the day before, because everybody comes to buy their loaf of bread in the morning. So you literally have the whole town pop in. So yeah, I'm going to take the pain au chocolat and croissant. In fact, I said to Chris, should we have one croissant or one pain au chocolat? And he said, maybe, yeah, one of each. That's why I love him and I married him.
When in France for breakfast, you can't say no to the croissants and pain au chocolat, which are like croissants but filled with chocolatey bits.
In fact, they actually called that in the basket in the shop. It said croissant and croissant au chocolat.
Oh, there you go.
Which
They
I've never seen before.
They're made out of the same pastry, but you can't. The ones you buy from the supermarkets in the UK, nothing compares to having a nice, freshly baked croissant and pain au chocolat for breakfast with a cup of coffee.
Absolutely. And I've already given away the secret of when I asked you, should I have a pain au chocolat or a croissant? Should we have one? And you went, yeah, one of each.
There's got to be one of each. We won't be able to buy these when we're in Spain. We'll be eating paella.
Paella.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get emails and messages saying, what do you do every day? Well, obviously every day is completely different, but a little insight into our day. Chris is just writing in the book, because we have an accounts book, because we have a budget to live on. So let me just turn the camera around so you can see Chris. That's Chris doing his budgets, and he
Making sure we don't overspend.
overspend on
It's
bakery.
very easy to overspend.
Maybe on pastries, because we're in France. And then he's got his computer there,
I do.
and he is making videos. And what's the video on today?
When we arrive back in the UK.
So the videos aren't live.
No, the videos are about... Actually, the videos are quite far behind because we left Ireland ages ago. But we're going to catch up because there was a couple of weeks in between where we were at Marianne's dad's house and didn't do a lot of filming. But the videos take about 8 hours to make, depending on the complexity of them. So I'd spend all day in the van making videos if I did them live, or they would be short, or they wouldn't be so good.
You're just taking one for the team. You're just taking one for the team.
So yeah, so no, we spend a couple of days a week making videos.
Wonderful. And then we have our coffee mugs there. I've just made a fresh coffee, and I'm now sat down. I try not to get behind the computer, but I do get behind the computer. Being a secretary, you try and avoid it, don't you? It's like if you're a builder, you try not to build your own house. But the only thing that entices me back to the computer is we get some lovely comments and messages, like really lovely. And so I'm going to go on to YouTube and Facebook and check messages. I also do the Instagram page, which I love, because I've always done a bit of Instagram, because I think it's quite nice. It's live, it's on the day, you can share where you are at that moment. And we've got a project coming up, so we started to do some planning. And one of the reasons I just picked the camera up is because we were talking about one of Chris's ex-colleagues, Nikki, and she used to say to him, "You're a bit rare, aren't you?" It was the politest way she could possibly put that he is.
I'm a demanding manager.
that he is a bit of a weirdo. Because we have got a big trip coming up, like. So there's a little plan in the pipework. Later. And in true Chris's fashion,
I'm organising.
he has a spreadsheet.
Marianne.
He has a spreadsheet.
Because
He does. I know somebody else at work that used to have spreadsheets. Capitan, you know who you are, Captain Cooper. And Chris, with his spreadsheet, has started planning this big trip that we've got coming up. But we were laughing because we were remembering all our friends at work, because Chris and I both used to work in the NHS in a hospital in Telford, Shropshire. And we were just laughing about it, and I just wanted to say we have never forgotten our friends, because we just love everybody and we have made some amazing friends. But yeah, Nikki and Kath, we're thinking of you and the spreadsheets. See you later.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun